In a surprising geopolitical shift, China has accepted a significant partnership offer from Turkey. This unexpected alliance has sent ripples across the globe, raising questions about the future of international relations. The deal signals a potential realignment of global powers and has left many wondering about the motivations and implications. Turkey, a long-standing member of NATO, has been increasingly at odds with its Western allies. China, meanwhile, has been steadily expanding its global influence, both economically and politically. The partnership represents a significant development in the global balance of power. It is a clear indication of China's growing reach and Turkey's willingness to challenge the existing world order. Turkey's offer to China is multifaceted, encompassing economic, strategic, and geopolitical elements. At the heart of the deal is Turkey's strategic location, bridging Asia and Europe. This offers China a critical link in its Belt and Road Initiative. Turkey brings a young population, dynamic economy, and significant military force. The offer includes cooperation in trade, investment, technology, and defense. Turkey gains access to Chinese capital, technology, and markets. Joint ventures and infrastructure projects are also planned. Turkey seeks to strengthen its position as a regional power. The economic implications of the China-Turkey partnership are far-reaching. For China, Turkey represents a key gateway to European markets. By investing in Turkish infrastructure and industry, China can expand its economic footprint in Europe and beyond. The partnership also provides China with access to Turkey's young and growing consumer market, further fueling its economic engine. Turkey, on the other hand, stands to benefit from Chinese investment and technology. China's Belt and Road Initiative promises to bring much-needed infrastructure development to Turkey, boosting its economy and creating jobs. Access to Chinese markets also presents significant opportunities for Turkish businesses, particularly in sectors such as textiles, agriculture, and tourism. However, this economic partnership also comes with its share of challenges. Some experts warn of the risks associated with becoming overly reliant on China, particularly given China's growing economic and political clout. There are also concerns about potential trade imbalances and the impact of Chinese competition on Turkish industries. Despite these challenges, both China and Turkey view this partnership as mutually beneficial. The economic potential is vast, and both nations are committed to making this partnership a success. Only time will tell how this economic relationship will evolve and what impact it will have on the global economy. The China-Turkey partnership has sent shockwaves through the geopolitical landscape, particularly within NATO and Western capitals. The alliance has raised concerns about Turkey's commitment to the transatlantic alliance and its willingness to align itself with a country that the West increasingly views as a strategic competitor. Some NATO members fear that Turkey's growing ties with China could undermine the alliance's unity and weaken its ability to counter China's growing influence. There are also concerns that Turkey could share sensitive information or technology with China, potentially jeopardizing NATO's security. The West's reaction to the China-Turkey partnership has been cautious, with many urging Turkey to reconsider its deepening ties with China. However, Turkey has defended its right to pursue its own foreign policy interests, emphasizing that its partnership with China does not come at the expense of its NATO membership. This geopolitical shift has exposed the growing rift between Turkey and its Western allies. It remains to be seen how this partnership will reshape the geopolitical landscape. But one thing is certain: the China-Turkey alliance has introduced a new level of complexity to an already volatile global order. Military cooperation, a cause for concern? Beyond the economic and geopolitical implications, the China-Turkey partnership also raises concerns about potential military cooperation between the two countries. While the details of any military agreements remain unclear, the possibility of closer defense ties has raised eyebrows in Western capitals. Turkey, with its strategically important location and significant military capabilities, has long been a key NATO ally. However, its recent acquisition of the Russian S-400 missile defense system, despite strong opposition from the United States and other NATO members, has further strained relations and raised questions about Turkey's future within the alliance. China, meanwhile, has been rapidly modernizing its military and expanding its global military reach. While there is no indication of any immediate plans for joint military operations, the possibility of China gaining access to Turkish military bases or technology is a worrying prospect for the West. The potential for military cooperation between China and Turkey adds another layer of complexity to an already delicate geopolitical situation. It remains to be seen how far this cooperation will extend, but it is a development that Western powers will be watching closely. Culture and human rights, a delicate balance. The China-Turkey partnership is not limited to economic and geopolitical considerations. It also encompasses cultural exchanges and people-to-people contacts. Both countries have a rich history and diverse cultures, and the partnership presents opportunities for increased cultural understanding and cooperation. However, the partnership also raises concerns about human rights. China's human rights record has been widely criticized, particularly its treatment of Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang province. Turkey, with its own significant Uyghur population, has been a vocal critic of China's policies in Xinjiang in the past. The partnership presents a dilemma for Turkey, balancing its economic and geopolitical interests with its commitment to human rights. It remains to be seen how Turkey will navigate this delicate balance and whether it will use its newfound leverage to address human rights concerns with China. The cultural and human rights aspects of the China-Turkey partnership highlight the complexities of this alliance. It is a relationship fraught with potential pitfalls, and its success will depend on how both countries choose to address these sensitive issues. The future of the partnership, possible scenarios. The future of the China-Turkey partnership is uncertain and subject to a multitude of internal and external factors. Several scenarios could unfold in the coming years, ranging from closer integration and deepening ties to a cooling of relations and a return to the status quo. One possible scenario is that the partnership flourishes, with both countries reaping significant economic and geopolitical benefits. This could lead to a deepening of ties, increased cooperation in various sectors, and a shift in the global balance of power. Another possibility is that the partnership faces significant challenges and ultimately falters. This could be due to a variety of factors such as economic disagreements, geopolitical tensions, or domestic political changes in either country. A third scenario is that the partnership continues but remains limited in scope, with both countries cautious about becoming overly reliant on each other. This could result in a more transactional relationship, focused primarily on economic cooperation. The future trajectory of the China-Turkey partnership will depend on a complex interplay of factors, including the global geopolitical landscape, domestic political considerations, and the economic interests of both countries. The world reacts, global implications of the alliance. The China-Turkey partnership has sent ripples across the globe, prompting a range of reactions from world leaders and international organizations. Some countries view the partnership with concern, wary of China's growing influence and Turkey's willingness to challenge the existing world order. Others see the partnership as an opportunity, potentially leading to increased trade and investment in the region. The reaction from the Middle East has been particularly noteworthy, as countries in the region grapple with the shifting geopolitical landscape and their own relationships with both China and Turkey. The partnership has also sparked debate within international organizations, such as the United Nations and the World Trade Organization, about the implications for global governance and the rules-based international order. The world is watching closely as this unexpected partnership unfolds. The implications for global trade, security, and diplomacy are significant, and the ramifications of this alliance will continue to be felt for years to come. Conclusion: a new world order? The China-Turkey partnership marks a significant development in the evolving global order. It underscores the shifting balance of power and the emergence of new alliances that challenge traditional geopolitical alignments. The partnership has far-reaching implications for international relations, trade, security, and the future of globalization. While it is still too early to predict the long-term trajectory of this partnership, one thing is certain: the world is witnessing a realignment of global powers. The old order is giving way to a new, more complex and multipolar world, with China and Turkey poised to play increasingly prominent roles. The success or failure of this partnership will depend on a multitude of factors, but it has already sent a clear message. The geopolitical landscape is changing, and the world must adapt to a new reality. The China-Turkey alliance is just one example of the shifting sands of global power, and it is a development that will continue to shape the world for years to come. As the alliance between China and Turkey strengthens, the economic impacts on the region are becoming increasingly evident. Investments in infrastructure projects, such as the Belt and Road Initiative, promise to enhance connectivity and spur economic growth. Both countries stand to benefit from increased trade and investment flows, creating new opportunities for businesses and industries. However, this partnership also poses challenges. Smaller neighboring countries may feel the pressure to align with the new power bloc, potentially creating economic dependencies and imbalances. Additionally, the West's response, including potential sanctions or trade restrictions, could complicate the economic landscape. For China, leveraging Turkey's strategic location as a gateway between Europe and Asia is a significant advantage. For Turkey, Chinese investments offer a much-needed boost to its economy, which has faced instability in recent years. The ripple effects of this partnership will be felt across the region, influencing trade routes, investment patterns, and economic policies. In conclusion, the economic impacts of the China-Turkey alliance are profound and multifaceted. They present both opportunities and risks, reshaping the economic landscape and redefining regional dynamics. The world will be closely watching how these economic shifts unfold, as they have the potential to alter the course of regional and global economies for years to come. As the economic landscape shifts due to the China-Turkey alliance, the political repercussions are equally significant. This partnership is not just about economic gains, it reflects a strategic realignment that could alter global power dynamics. For Turkey, aligning with China offers an alternative to its traditional Western alliances, providing leverage in its negotiations with NATO and the European Union. For China, Turkey's NATO membership and its strategic location at the crossroads of Europe and Asia present a valuable geopolitical asset. However, this alignment is not without risks. Turkey's closer ties with China could strain its relationships with Western allies, potentially leading to diplomatic tensions and a re-evaluation of its role within NATO. On the other hand, China's expanding influence in the region could provoke a counter-response from the West, including increased military presence and strategic partnerships with other regional players. The political landscape in the Middle East and Central Asia is also likely to be impacted. Countries in these regions may find themselves caught in a tug-of-war between aligning with the China-Turkey bloc or maintaining their ties with the West. This could lead to a realignment of regional alliances, with significant implications for regional stability and security. In summary, the political repercussions of the China-Turkey alliance are profound, with the potential to reshape global power structures and influence international relations for years to come. As both nations navigate this complex landscape, the world will be watching closely, anticipating the shifts and turns that will define the new political order. As the political landscape shifts due to the China-Turkey alliance, the military considerations cannot be overlooked. This partnership brings a new dimension to the strategic calculations of both nations. For China, Turkey's geographic location offers a significant military advantage. Situated at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, Turkey provides China with a strategic foothold that could enhance its military reach and influence in these critical regions. For Turkey, aligning with China presents an opportunity to diversify its military partnerships beyond NATO. This could lead to increased military cooperation, including joint exercises, technology transfers, and even arms sales. However, this alignment also carries risks. Turkey's NATO membership could be strained, as closer military ties with China may be viewed with suspicion by its Western allies. This could lead to a delicate balancing act where Turkey must navigate its commitments to NATO while exploring new military avenues with China. The broader implications of this alliance are also significant. A stronger military partnership between China and Turkey could prompt a recalibration of military strategies by other regional and global powers. The United States and its NATO allies may respond by increasing their military presence in the region, conducting more frequent joint exercises, and strengthening their alliances with other countries in the Middle East and Central Asia. Moreover, this alliance could potentially shift the balance of power in ongoing conflicts and disputes in the region. Countries facing territorial or political challenges may find themselves reassessing their positions and alliances in light of this new military dynamic. In summary, the military considerations of the China-Turkey alliance are complex and far-reaching. As both nations navigate this new partnership, the world will be closely monitoring the military developments and strategic shifts that could redefine the regional and global security landscape. The stakes are high, and the outcomes remain uncertain. But one thing is clear: the military dimensions of this alliance will play a crucial role in shaping the future geopolitical order. As the China-Turkey alliance continues to evolve, the future prospects of this partnership present a fascinating landscape of possibilities. Both nations stand to gain significantly from their collaboration, but the road ahead is fraught with challenges and uncertainties. For China, the alliance with Turkey could serve as a model for future partnerships with other nations in the region. By fostering economic, political, and military ties, China may further solidify its influence and presence on the global stage. This could lead to new trade routes, increased investment opportunities, and a stronger geopolitical foothold. Turkey, on the other hand, has the potential to leverage its strategic position and newfound alliance to assert itself as a key player in regional and global affairs. By balancing its commitments to NATO with its partnership with China, Turkey could emerge as a bridge between East and West, fostering dialogue and cooperation on a global scale. However, the future is not without its challenges. Both nations must navigate the complexities of their respective political landscapes, manage the expectations of their domestic and international stakeholders, and address the potential backlash from rival powers. The success of this alliance will depend on their ability to adapt and respond to the ever-changing dynamics of global politics. In the end, the future prospects of the China-Turkey alliance are a testament to the evolving nature of international relations. As both nations chart their course forward, the world will be watching closely, anticipating the impact of their partnership on the global stage. The possibilities are immense, and the outcomes could reshape the geopolitical order for years to come. One thing is certain, the China-Turkey alliance marks the beginning of a new chapter in global diplomacy, one that promises to be as dynamic and transformative as the world itself.